new show, Bristol House Memory Care out of Warrington. Talking about that with our buddy Nate.
Hello.
Good to have you back.
Thank you.
After your premiere last week, getting all the information. Kind of the new kid on the block there out in Warrington, right? Just getting started since June, and things have been happening out there, huh?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And the guy just left here referred one to you, right? To Bristol
yes.
House.
We just want to thank Henry Carpenter and Sarah for giving us the referrals and working as a partner.
You know, Nate, we sort of like try to touch on a few topics as we were going along, and it's very ambitious. Residence care at Bristol House Memory Care focuses on supporting the residents. Is that an overall mission statement that you're looking to make as like the overall what clients and families can expect?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. There's an overall mission statement is what you plan on doing and how to do it, right?
Yes.
And I saw that I caught my eye the small house model. It's maybe you're in healthcare. It was like everything was painted with a broad brush, maybe, and now you sort of like defined it to a certain thing with the Alzheimer's and there's a kind of a specialty thing. What do you call a small house model? What is that? What is that?
So basically, you're trimming it down and you're trying to make it not a big environment. So basically, sometimes you see other homes. They want to do fancy, big, and a lot of choices. Mm-hmm. Where we're trying to slim it down to a small house dining setting. Yeah. Where it's not too big, not too much, not a lot of sounds. So
like class size in school, you don't want the 30, you want it down to like 15.
Yep.
You know, a little more one-on-one.
Yes.
Kind of thing. Was that how you worked before with a larger group, and then when you came into this kind of thing? You said, hey, I think this would work better?
Yes. So I come from more like a corporate type of feel, and I did work with a private owner before, and I would say like the private owner gave me a lot more options. So pairing up with a private owner again, gave me the flexibility to do the small house environment.
Right. And you can do that one-on-one, and this way maybe that the communication process, maybe you would have a better understanding of each residence, right? Maybe in a full house you might miss something, right? Or maybe overlook something or get a miscommunication. With a smaller group, you pretty much got a pretty good idea of how it's going to go and how they tick, right?
Yes.
What gets them going, what's bothering them.
Yeah, so
how things can be made over.
Going back to the life profile, basically you're trying to find out the little details in their life, and that's going to make a big impact of their daily living at your at Bristol House. Yeah. Trying to figure out not to miss those details are the key things. We're going to miss them. We're not perfect, but trying to really focus on the care and take a step back and say, hey, listen, what's going on? Yeah. Sometimes it's the best approach.
Or maybe what's not going on.
Yeah, there you go.
Or what used to be is not there anymore. How can we bring it back?
Yeah.
Or hit the reset button or something, right?
Yes.
As said, to get everybody, get them jump started. Who knows? An activity, memory, maybe a little comfort level, or interaction with others could spark that.
Yep, and sometimes you'll see a lot of it has to do with therapy, pet therapy, music therapy, activities like you were saying, sensory therapy, just what gets them going. And if you know what they're what ticks them and gets them motivated, then it makes your job a lot easier. Yeah.
Or they'll talk amongst themselves and say, when I was working, I had this job for a while, and then I did that, and I really enjoyed what I was doing here. And some way kind of miss it. So maybe there's projects to be done. Maybe get an old, electrician can, fix a light bulb or put them to work.
Oh yes, that's what you want to do. You don't want to take their independence away from them.
Yeah. But you're out there in Warrington, right? It's called Bristol House Manor in Warrington, and it's. What would you say it would be near Parks Casino? Would you say it's
right off of 611 and on Bristol Road?
Yeah, 611. Okay.
Yeah, near the Home Depot and Walmart down there.
Now, a family, you're just getting started now. You don't have a handful of people out there, right?
Yes.
So, trying to build up it's very new.
Yes.
And it's very specialized.
Yeah. So What we do is we specialize in memory care. Basically, our mission is care. And we notice that if you give the right care and you talk to the families and communicate with families, they'll give you referrals. And I want to take the time out and thank the families there for giving us referrals.
Right.
They have gave us some referrals too.
When they get a tour and a lunch and we get sort of take to lay of the land just a bit, what do you tell them on a tour, Nate? What kind of you bring to it that a family would be interested in? What are you promoting the most on the tour?
I'm promoting the care. Basically, activities, food, and everything of that nature is great there too. But the number one thing I'm focused on is their loved one and what that can look like at Bristol House.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and with a small school approach, with supervision, there's nobody left unattended. Maybe in a bigger place that. Well, they were crying for something or other, and nobody came. I mean, that can't happen.
No, not memory care. I mean, like I said, if this was a personal care, maybe that approach works. Memory care, it has a lot to do with time and attention, and you have to have care staff there to do that. Yeah.
So everybody's on the clock, but I think in a smaller setting, if anything's a problem, it could be addressed or readjusted or try something else, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. The overall picture, you talk about the access to staff 24/7, so you don't think that anybody's going to be unattended if you've already made that promise to 24/7 access, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah. So, like I said, if any time overnight a situation happens, they can't get a hold of my nursing staff for some odd reason, which they always pick up, they can always call me too. And that's the availability I have with the families there.
Is there, Nate, something different, too, that residents maybe feel like they're not in some kind of compound, but maybe have a little privacy? It's kind of their own place kind of thing.
Oh, yes.
Is that? Are you looking for that as well? Is people like having their own space? Their own suite or bath or whatever. They just it's my world. That's what I do. But I get on the grounds. Hey, I'm fine. Right?
Yeah. So let me tell you one of the big reasons why I took this job on.
Okay.
It was the bathroom.
Yeah.
It's our own private bathroom.
Really? Yeah.
It's a weird story, but for you to take care of somebody in the right mannerism, they want their own bathroom.
Yeah.
The staff wants their own bathroom because it's safe for the staff too. And if you see the bathrooms there in the private room setting, it's amazing.
That's where the routine starts, right?
Yeah.
I mean, brush the teeth, take a shower, whatever you're going to do, clean up, shave, whatever you're going to do. And, you're kind of like you're repeating when you were working or getting up early in the morning.
Yes.
Yeah, and so they're back in the flow. Like you say, the memory clicks in, right? They're in routine. Is that what we're trying to do, is simulate routine?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Big thing with memory care is routine, and going about how their routine was. And not always about what you expect as Bristol House Memory Care is what the resident's routine is. Mm-hmm. So that's big. Right.
And also safety is too. You don't want anybody falling or colliding. I mean, everybody's going in the same direction, not scrambling all around and everything else, right?
Yeah. I mean, we have safety rails on the walkways, so which makes it safe, and it's a two sides, but then on each side it has a circle environment. So if resident wants to walk and be independent, they can, and they don't have to worry about being clustered.
All right, so we're here with Nate, Bristol House Memory Care. We're coming right back.
Welcome. Bucks County's newest state-of-the-art memory care facility for Alzheimer's and dementia care is Bristol House. Located in Warrington, Pennsylvania, it is designed to provide residents personal space for their well-being. 2 24-room communities with a private suite, bathroom, family room, and kitchen. All meals, snacks, activities, and therapies are included. Call today at 215-491-1501 for your tour today. Bristol House, Bucks County's newest Alzheimer's and dementia care facility.
Bristol House Memory Care on the line here on WBCB. You talk about the place, Nate, and you talk about the services, but when you talk to the people that are there, right, that's where the rubber really hits the road, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
You gotta believe that. And we've got one of those kind of guys, right? We got Bruno on the line. Thanks for checking in, Bruno. How are you? Hello, Bruno, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, good. Thanks for coming aboard here today. What can you tell us? Yeah, what can you tell us about Bristol House so far? And this guy, Nate, if you want to take a shot at him, now's your chance to do it.
Well, I've been, quite frankly, very pleased with the choice I made regarding my wife, who has significant dementia. I had looked around at a couple of other places, and she was at another facility prior to this, but I felt I had to move her from that. I wasn't particularly satisfied. When I toured Bristol House, several things impressed me right away. First of all, it was the straightforward nature of the way the management discussed things with me and how flexible they were regarding the care plan they could put together for my wife. And when I saw the facility and how convenient it was for her, particularly the wide hallways, well-lit, very airy, it was impressive on that occasion. And then the private rooms with the very easy shower installation for her morning showers, which she has taken to more readily than she did at the previous place where she was. And in particular, since she's been here from July 27th, the staff, a very well-trained staff who really takes care of her needs, and it makes me, quite frankly, very easy to sleep at night since I know she's in good hands.
Yeah,
I couldn't say more about the place.
That's the price tag you don't count on is a little peace of mind too. The place you went from, place one where you were not happy with it, going to Bristol House. Was it attention to detail? Is that what caught you, Bruno? Where
it was the inattention of some of the staff. Some of the staff was very good. Some of them were inattentive. In fact, she fell twice while she was there, and that was one of my prime concerns, the inattention to detail, especially with regard to a person's physical health.
Yeah, they were overwhelmed. Yeah, it could have been a little bit overwhelmed, right?
Well, it was. It really concerned my family and myself. The other thing that's been very good is the accommodating her taste needs regarding food. The cook is very here accommodating what her preferences are, but she still eats very well. Yeah. So that's been a big factor. Yeah. And then the activities they have for the people as well. They have a very large activities room as well as the dining area where they do activities. Everything from music, games, to bingo, to painting, actually doing water paints. And she's done a couple of those. And since she used to be a fashion designer, that really has caught her attention, even with her reduced mental capability.
Wow, you got a spark there.
So they try to keep the people active in something that's of interest to them. And that, again, is something I think is really important for them when they're in that mental situation.
Nate, was that revealed in an interview about some of the likes that some of the residents and activities what they did in life might spark them there?
Oh yes, yes.
So the fashion designer issue then came up. So the little creativity there with arts and crafts and things like that kind of got the spark going again, huh?
Oh yes, small attention to details.
Wow, that is a nice little perk right there. Getting everybody rolling, and you like the small, intimate approach, Bruno. Also, everybody's kind of on the same page with the same thing, right?
Yes, the very significant. First of all, the layout makes it convenient because, as I said, the hallways are wide. In fact, I've had her up and walking with her walker much more actively here because it's easy to do, and she's comfortable with it. Again, there's a low-level noise environment, which is important, so they don't, she doesn't get agitated for sudden, noises you don't expect, things that would tend to irritate someone in that situation. Yep. So it's a very calm atmosphere. That's another factor, I think, which really convinced me to bring her here.
Yeah, and how about the communication back and forth between Manor House and, here's what we did today, here's an issue we're looking at, can you help us out there? Is there that kind of communication going back and forth? Do you get kind of
every day?
Oh, every day.
Yeah.
I'm here every day, and they let me know how her night was, how her breakfast is. Today I was able to arrive in time to help her finish her breakfast. They let me know what she's been doing with therapy. They also have a separate therapy room, so she gets physical therapy to encourage the walking and standing by herself.
Yeah.
And
yeah, Nate, I was going to ask you something. Do you document all that? Do you get daily? Do you give out daily reports to Bruno or
no? It's more communication, but our nurses do documentation every day.
Yeah.
We also have our managers meeting every day, and we talk about if any issues arise or if anything that we need to be better at. Then we can talk about it.
So Nate would come back to you, Bruno, and say, "Here's how we went. Here's how it went today." In case you're not there to witness it firsthand. So you
yes, and also he suggested, and he and I discussed the type of additional chair she might need, for example. So I made a point to have a reclining chair brought in for her, which they accommodated, so that she can nap in that in the afternoon and be within sight of the aides and nurse rather than napping in a room and have the possibility of a fall. That's the last thing you want to have happen again.
Yeah.
So they've accommodated me in that way as well. So it's worked out very well. Basically, it's almost like working with a team.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm back on a team again, and that's what it is, between the management here and the nursing staff, the aides, myself.
Yeah.
So I feel comfortable. Since she's 83, I wanted to have a comfortable, basically, final years, and that's important.
Yes, life with dignity, to be sure. Medication, no problem with the medication management, too?
Nothing at all. She has her schedule, and they have that in the usual locked nurses stations, and they have a regular regimen for providing her morning and evening medications before meals. They also check her insulin each day before each meal, because she is a diabetic.
You got it. So
they have an insulin regimen if she requires it, depending on how her readings are each day. Wow,
I've tried to get Nate in trouble as best I can, but I'm not going to be able to do it today. That's for sure.
Not today.
But those are the things that pop up too, right, Bruno? Like maybe they've uncovered something maybe you didn't know. Has there been one of those kind of discoveries? Maybe you think you've got everything in place, and then something surprises you. Do you feel
everything is pretty much in place? They also have a very good supporting pharmacy, which provides pharmacy supplies. For example, the particular type of underwear she needs. Being incontinent, that's always an issue when you have the staff being able to support her in that way as well. So, I've been totally pleased with the way things have worked out here. It's been a big relief to me and my family regarding having her here. And when some of our children have visited, they can see how well she's been taken care of, and they're very pleased with it as well.
Wow!
And one of my daughters works at another retirement community, which has the complete range of independent living right through dementia care, and she has seen that firsthand over a number of years she's worked there, and she considers this a very good place to have her mother, which obviously was most important to her.
Yeah, when you took the tour before we go here, when you took the tour, what stood out the most when you were there and going through it? Said, yeah, I think this could work out. When the light came on, what's the thing that really swung you?
It was a combination of the nature of the facility and the management here. Because management is key. I'm a retired engineer, and I believe in proper management and order, and programs should be laid out in the proper way.
You bet.
And I could see that it matched the way, I guess, my work experience was. The management is proper here in terms of the way they approach things, and they're very direct in speaking with you as to what they can do and cannot do, and what the limitations are. And when they reviewed the details with me, that's really was the final factor in my mind.
Yeah, as the son of an engineer myself, work your plan your work, still paramount.
You got it. That's exactly the move.
Yep.
That's exactly it.
You bet. Bruno, I thank you so much for taking the time and detailing your experiences. Hopefully somebody else will feel the same way, and maybe get some company out there for you. So that'd be...
Well, I think people should seriously consider it, quite frankly, as they're comparing places.
Yep. I thank you for taking the time.
Thank you, Bruno.
You're quite welcome.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks.
That's Bruno Cavallo was talking about his experience at Bristol House Memory Care. We're coming right back.
Welcome. Bucks County's newest state-of-the-art memory care facility for Alzheimer's and dementia care is Bristol House. Located in Warrington, Pennsylvania, it is designed to provide residents personal space for their well-being. 2 24-room communities with a private suite, bathroom, family room, and kitchen. All meals, snacks, activities, and therapies are included. Call today at 215-491-1501 for your tour today. Bristol House, Bucks County's newest Alzheimer's and dementia care facility.
We're in conversation, Bristol House Memory Care here on WBCB's, where we land Thursdays at 9:30. It's on 2527 Bristol Road in Warrington. Need more information, a tour, you give them a call, 215-491-1501, and you may end up talking to this gentleman over here. Nate will be, he's your guide, right?
Oh, yes. Please call me.
You need that's right. You're going to be busy out there, but that was really revealing about, we're talking between the breaks, Nate, about how Mr. Cavallo came in and said he had a laundry list, he had a booklet, he had a dossier, he had a ton of questions, a mile and a half long. It was a little kind of intimidating there a little bit, don't you think?
Yeah, very, very planned guy, but very detailed, and you can tell the care that he has for his wife.
Yeah.
There's an awesome picture of him on Bristol House Memory Care's Facebook with him and his wife. It's a beautiful picture. I would have people come visit and see that picture.
Well, since he was detail-oriented in his work life, and he's seen what detail-oriented and the approach you're taking, that seemed to really be a hit right there.
Oh, yes.
And does it also reinforce, Nate, that you're on the right track about your mission statement? If we just preach the gospel here and it's a winner, we know we're in the right room here.
Oh yes, I can just tell my staff that they will have a pizza party when I come back.
Well, you heard it here first.
Yep.
I'm telling you. As we proceed here, just a couple more minutes here, they can get a tour. You can get lunch. You can ask questions. There's seminars, and it's all about memory care, right? And it's specialized, and it's small in nature, right? Is that the way that it's going to be set up? It's not going to be that big, but this.
Yeah, I mean, we're a 48-bedroom community.
That's not very big, but that's kind of the one-on-one that you're shooting for, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It's attention to detail. I always tell everybody, to give the right care, you have to be willing to go the extra step and be willing to listen to that resident's details.
Yeah.
That's going to be your best approach.
Now, you also with more patients coming in, more families coming in eventually, more staff. Where do you recruit? And if somebody's interested in this kind of a career or like you have, how can they get in on that as a job?
We'll have job postings on Indeed.com, and then we'll also have job postings on our website, BristolHouseMemoryCare.com.
What kind of people are you looking for?
I'm looking for people that care and has a dedication of patience and understanding that this disease only gets worse, and you need to learn about this disease as it goes. Yeah. Even myself, I go to trainings every year. I try to get to understand the disease even more in details, and I think that's where I'm headed with trying to hire staff.
Yeah, compassion, dignity, and that's certainly underlining that. Some cases are going to be tougher than others, but you kind of, when you get to know them, you get that relationship working, they'll tell you certain things maybe about themselves that maybe their family doesn't know. You find out every once in a while there's a few surprise nuggets in there, right?
Oh, yeah, and as this dementia goes, they sometimes do things in their past they would never do. Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah. Does some of the activities have been a little surprising as well? Maybe a little surprising to you? Every once in a while you think you've seen it all, and look what happens, huh?
Yeah, one time we had a family say that the resident doesn't dance and doesn't do all that stuff. And suddenly we put the music on, and there he goes. Boom,
we have to bring Lou Powers out there then.
Yeah.
Get him hopping there. That's another spot for Lou to do his shtick there, trying to hustle up a little bit. Each room is a private suite, private bathroom. You mentioned that. That's where it really begins. So the privacy, and like maybe there's a little feeling of ownership. Is that what they're trying to create?
Oh yes, I wanted to feel like it's their home. Mm-hmm. And obviously
it's designed that way. Then
it's designed that way. We want to make sure they're comfortable in their place. Privacy obviously is a key thing. When we want them to use their own bathrooms, and be as independent as possible.
And do you feel like the doing routine? Can that be learned? That's what you're trying to do, is to keep it learned, right?
Oh yes. Yeah, but once they get used to it, and once they start working on that plan, and then it makes it easier for us to reapproach it if it gets off plan.
Right. There's got to be certain adjustments along the way, right?
Of course.
Yeah. That have to be made, and maybe not drastic, right? Maybe change things up a little bit or rework certain things.
Yeah, it's like I said, you always have to look at it this way. Do I have to take a step back if something's not right? Yes.
Yeah.
And then you try to figure out what detail's missing. What are you guys doing wrong? And once we figure out what we're doing wrong, we can correct it and get better.
Right. So let's, as we wrap up here, got about 2 minutes to go here. Tell them where you are, how to get there, how to arrange a tour, call you, or is there a website that they can access or see everybody in action?
Yes, it's www.bristolhousememorycare.com. Also, the phone number is 215-491-1501. We're off 611 on Bristol Road. Yeah. Our starting price is at $5,000.
Okay. Forgot to ask that one there too. $5,000 and all inclusive, right?
Yes, everything is in there.
Cheaper than a cruise, maybe, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, we really try to focus on the care.
When you get the tour and the lunch, what exactly would you be presenting, and what kind of questions do you think do you get on those tours?
Basically, how does your activities look? How does your food look? How does your care look? What your staff ratios look like? And that question comes up, number one, staff ratios. And the way I answer that is, if I can tell you my staff ratios, I'm telling you something wrong. Yeah. It's really case by case.
Yeah. Okay. So you might have more people working on one than another.
Yes.
It is what it is then, right? So, yeah, as Bruno was talking about, he mentioned the food, how it was, and, for when they get in those years, getting them to eat, it's hard to do. Then you find something they really like, and then you kind of roll with it, right?
Yeah, you roll with it until you get to roll with a different picture.
That's right, yeah. You do have to be sort of flexible in that nature, too. But with a one-on-one you kind of get that kind of relationship where you kind of anticipate a few things, right? You can't do that on something that's rather casual and not done very often. You're going to be missing more than hitting, right?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
It's just like a bat, and you get 3 strikes and you keep hitting and hitting it.
Yeah, we know that drill, how that works, and it's a tough one every once in a while. But everybody's kind of in the same boat, and do they interact? The residents can interact with each other and.
Oh, yes. We try to promote that as much as possible. Like I was telling you about the karaoke girls.
Yep.
And, we try to get the guys to pair up. Maybe football Sunday. Maybe, maybe it's ice cream social.
Maybe lay a few bets down at the casino. Right?
Oh, yes. There you go.
Got a nice little working relationship there. I don't want to have you steal my ideas, but what the heck. Anyway. So we're with Nate. It's Tuesdays, Bristol House Memory Care. Tell them where it is and their phone number and a website before we get out here.
Yes, it's 215-491-1501. Website is www.bristolhouse.com. And we're right off 611 on Bristol Road.
That's right. And we're also here 9:30 on WBCB. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.